Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25, and welcome back to our Survival 4X Start From Scratch series. For the first time I've ever played a PC game. Well, I say PC game, PC playthrough for Farm Sim 25. And it's the first time ever being on a 4X map. So, pretty excited. We've had a crazy couple of first episodes. But as you can see, it's officially September, which means we've made it. We've survived our first month out here in the middle of nowhere. The grass is starting to grow back a little bit, but we got more work to do today. So, my thoughts is that we go up the hill and start clearing some of the grass up there. So let's go grab our mower. We'll fire up the old international case here. I guess it's not really an international, just case back then. We'll get this thing over here, hook it up to our double bar mower. Alright, now we want to hook up the oh, that's right. This one, for some reason, doesn't actually make me hook up any of the others. We're running a mod that's manually hooking up where we have to hook up the PTO and everything, but for some reason this double bar mower doesn't actually hook the PTO or the hydraulic. It's weird. It works, but it's just weird. But before we get started, I do want to check out the shop and see if there's anything new in here, because there should be some new stuff. So most of this stuff that you're seeing here is stuff from the previous month, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. But towards the bottom, we should start to see some new stuff. I believe this is where we were in the last month, as far as what was at the bottom. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's much of anything. There's a new crude oil production mod tank. Apparently this can hold oil, gas, and potentially DEF. I don't know if that's what that is or not. Maybe it's just diesel. But we also have a harvester header, but none of this makes any use to us at all. So for now, I think we just go to the top of the hill and see if we can't find some work to be done up there. So we're just going to head right up here. We're not going to bother cutting this part here just yet. We may do it in the future, but it's not really a top priority for us. The main thing is I just want to get to the top and see what we're working with, because we do have quite a bit of area up here that we should be able to work in. But you can see this hill is a doozy, man. Look at the elevation change. It's a doozy, man. I don't know if this area right here is going to be what we want to cut, but I'm hoping we can get beyond the trees, and then we have a nice wide area, hopefully, to cut. It looks like this is the edge of the map. But you can see that we own all the way over that direction. So if we go to our farmland, you can see we pretty much own everything that we can see that direction. So we might just go ahead and start cutting what we can and see what we can get into. Gotta be kidding me that that's a tree. Well, that's gonna be a problem, potentially. We'll find out. Hopefully that's not a theme. But, yeah, we're going to head down this way. We're just going to try to cut what we can up here on the top of the hill. Obviously, I want to try to avoid too much elevation changes in this one. We did a lot of elevation changes in the last one. But we actually have quite a bit of room up here. And, I mean, it looks like we're going to be able to do all of this. So, you know what? Let's just unfold the mower and start doing it. See what we can get into. So let's fire her up and just start mowing, I guess. Now, I don't know how much of this is actually going to be grass and, you know, how much is not. There's quite a bit of elevation changes here. It could be a problem. There's the edge of our field there. Are we close to the border? Not really. I went stopped like a dum-dum. This area up here is going to be kind of long, but it's not particularly wide, so I don't know how long it'll take us to actually mow it. You see this little bit of storm damage up here. Hopefully that doesn't mean we're going to get some tornadoes. It's the last thing we need. I don't know if this will get rid of that or not. No. As expected. So yeah, there are little trees apparently that are going to be annoying. That's something we haven't actually... God bless it, man. Those trees are so annoying. What am I stuck on? Okay. Is this the edge of the... Is that what we're doing? Is that what's happening right now? This is just the edge of the map. Let's try to turn back. Okay, so the edge of the map might be slightly closer than we thought. Yeah, we're up against the edge of the map. Okay, so that makes sense. I was losing my mind. I was like, wait a second. It looks like it's a little bit further over, but it's definitely not. We are up against the edge of the map, which is fine. Because again, I just want to cut some of this up here. That'll give us a little bit of extra grass that we can sell off and kind of give us a little extra money before winter. We will have one more big cut off of our big fields. I don't know that I'm going to cut that second hill again. I'm definitely not cutting the backyard, but that first field out in front of us is definitely one that I'm going to be cutting before winter. Hopefully you can see we're kind of running into the edge of the map again. I guess this area here, we can just kind of cordon off and cut it first. Maybe we can do that other area second. But I'm going to try to not do too much crazy time-lapsing today. So this might be a little bit longer episode. Maybe don't get quite as much done today. Maybe we just do the cutting today and then we come in and we windrow it tomorrow. Something like that, because I like to mix it up a little bit. I don't like to do just all time-lapses. I don't like to do, you know, mega episodes all the time. Sometimes it's just nice to just have a nice chill day with you guys. You guys will have to let me know if you guys like both ways of doing it. I also started a little earlier than I normally do. We got a little bit of early morning. It's currently 65 degrees, which would be a nice, I don't know, I guess late summer morning here in September. Maybe not quite fall yet. But yeah, I've noticed that if I just put my right side tires right along the edge of where we just cut, like we can actually do a pretty decent job of utilizing most of our working width. But this is a good way of not only showing us like where our property boundaries are, but also getting us a little bit extra money in the bank. So I'm okay with it. And like I said, at some point, maybe we put some like windmills up here on top of this hill or something. So do us good to get rid of a lot of the brush, just so we can understand where we can place stuff. I know windmills are expensive, but they could be useful here. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to see just by going into first person. You can kind of keep your tires right on the edge of that a little bit easier. I also slowed down my steering sensitivity a little bit. Probably could do a little bit more, but I don't want to go too slow either. Because then when you need to turn, it doesn't want to turn. Main thing is we're doing a much better job of keeping up speed up here on the top. I say as we drop down into third gear. I know that other hill was brutal, man. Every time we had to climb it, it was just hating life. Overall, it doesn't look like it's going to take us too long to cut this. But I'd like to get both areas cut, and then we can come back with the windrower, get it all windrowed, and then we can then bale it afterwards. I'm not going to do it all today. Like I said, I'm going to try to avoid doing too many time lapses all the time. I want to try to like split it up a little bit so that we're not just jamming, 3 hours of content into every episode. I'm trying to get these episodes out every day, which is something we've not done before with other Farm Sim episodes, because I do right now I'm doing 2 uploads a day with Farm Sim and World of Warships Legends. It's a lot of recording. But I enjoy it, man. This game is so much fun and so relaxing compared to my other game that I play, which is just frustration most of the time. It's fun, but it's so frustrating at times. This is the complete opposite. This is just me having a good time, relaxing, just doing some busy work. Which is why, even though we don't get as many views on this, I still enjoy it. Like, it's just something that I enjoy doing. And so hopefully someday that we'll get a decent sized audience that enjoys it as well. And who knows? Maybe it becomes a staple on the channel. But until then, it's just us hanging out, having a good time. I know there's at least 400 of you guys that watch this every single time we put up an episode. I can't thank you guys enough for that. I appreciate you guys. Glad you guys enjoy it. And I know some of you guys are actually dedicated Farm Sim guys that came to the channel after I started doing Farm Sim content, so I appreciate that as well. Glad you guys enjoy. But yeah, as far as our first field location, I think getting that bottom field, the big field that we cut initially, turned into an actual field is going to be a high priority for us. Oh God, what was that? that was bad. If we can get that turned into an actual grass field, that'll be a high priority for us. Then we can make some serious money off that field, because that is a big field and it's relatively easy to work, right? And if we can turn that into an actual grass field, then that'll make a big deal for us as well. And like I said, we just need the money to make it happen. We got to get a plow in order to cut the ground. We got to get a what do you call it? We got to get a seeder of some kind that can plant the grass, and then we need fertilizer. So we'll need a spreader. We'll need a lime spreader as well, because we do have precision farming installed. So we're going to have to hit all those boxes as well. It's going to be a whole deal. Probably going to have to get one of those little sampling things too, instead of just spending all of our money sampling everything. Might get one of those drills so that we can actually do our own core samples for a change. At least until I get tired of doing it. Oops. That's the thing. It's very easy to miss a good chunk of grass this way. Come on, man. Don't be stopping on me. This is a good tractor. I like this tractor a lot. I liked the original tractor too, but it just didn't have enough power for the amount of land that we need to work. We need some bigger equipment, and this helps with the hills as well. As you see, this thing even struggles with the hills. So you know that 45 horsepower tractor would struggle with anything. This thing has 120 horsepower. We did have our loans and stuff start to get paid off, so that's like $1,700 a month that we have to keep in mind. Some people did say to go ahead and try to get a greenhouse. That is something that I've thought about, but I feel like greenhouses are kind of like an easy kind of cheat in terms of making monthly revenue to offset loan costs. And so I don't know if I want to do that. I want to kind of plan around like making enough money to pay off my loans and stuff without having to rely on, greenhouses and easy income like that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we won't do them at some point. I'm just saying that, like, I think we can try to get away from relying on it. You know what I mean? But if you guys want me to, I can always do that. Like I said, it's no big deal. This is a series that we're going to be doing for a long time, so plans may change, but I intend to be here for quite a while. And we're not going to be looking at any other maps anytime soon. This is it. This will be the creme de la creme. Did it again. Cutting that corner too sharp. Ahead of myself. Also, I figured out in the last episode, you'll notice that I was having some audio issues as well. You guys probably didn't notice any issues at all. It was my headset. I need a new headset really, really bad. So for the time being, my workaround is I'm using my Samsung Galaxy earbuds on my PC as a kind of a headset for me. Man, that's a steep hill. Look at that. Good Lord. That's one thing I like about this map, though. It is so natural feeling. Like, it's got big rolling hills. It's got like deep valleys. The terrain changes constantly. The textures of the map are really nice. It's got some different textures for the ground, as well as like all the different foliage types and stuff. Like, I think this map is really well done, especially for a 4X map. Like, I've seen 2X maps for console that don't look as good as this map does, and this is 4 times larger. And as somebody who actually attempted to set out and do a map, a modded map at one point, I was going to do a 2X map of where I grew up. I found out real quick that I ain't got that kind of patience. I did. I set out to do it. I got the satellite data, everything. I started making like the thing in Giants Editor. But man, there's a lot that goes into it, man. Creating all the water and everything, man. It's a whole deal. Just put it this way. I definitely understand why a lot of these maps don't have water. Because you have to put a lot of thought into how the water is going to be laid out on your map. Mainly because the way that the water is done on this game is just flat water layers. So the actual water isn't water at all. It's just a thin, like, layer of water over a void space. Most people don't notice. But you'll see later on when we end up making like a lake and everything down the road what I mean by like flat plains of water. Making pretty short work of this first section that we're cutting. As expected. Boy, that sun is bright right there, isn't it? I think I'm going to turn around and go straight back up here. And we'll come back and finish that section last because we'll be heading that direction for the other field anyway. But one of the things that I'm trying to avoid is progressing too quickly. Like, I don't want to get out of using some of this older equipment, like, immediately. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want this to be more of a slow burn, early start. It's going to snowball, especially on a map this size with the amount of land that we can produce on. It's going to snowball quickly. But I want to kind of hold the reins back a little bit. And I want to put in more effort into building up our farm area as well. Something that I haven't really done a whole lot in the last couple of series. The first series that we did on New Frontier, I feel like I did a really good job of kind of making our own little farm area. And it was mostly a logging playthrough. But we built up a cabin, one of the buildable cabins, and then we ended up customizing that cabin by building our own little like makeshift deck and like stonework, and we did all kinds of stuff using like a little bit of creativity. And that was on console. you haven't seen that series, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a full completed playlist, over 60 videos, starting from scratch on New Frontier logging on console. Highly recommend if you haven't checked that out. Somebody mentioned the other day, I saw a comment where somebody said I should bring back Larry the Log. If you know Larry the Log, you know that you've been around since New Frontier series. But Larry the Log is a staple from New Frontier. Literally from day one, became a staple on the channel. But we've kind of not had him for a couple of series, so we might have to ask if Larry's available to come to this new area. He's kind of like our impromptu foreman, always overseeing what's going on, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. There's a couple little spots. It's actually doing pretty well for that last turn that I just made. Alright. Go up here, we'll finish this section up here. And then we'll head over to that other section. Turn off the blades and stuff and pick them up until we get up to the top. And we can go full throttle. Also, one of the other things that I may do is just kind of let you guys listen to the sounds of the game, and I just shut up for a little while for these episodes where we don't do the time lapse. So if that's something you guys like as well, just let me know, because that's usually what happens. That's why I do time lapses so often, because there are times I just get in the groove and just get working and just don't talk. So then I end up using it as a time lapse. But sometimes it's just nice to listen to the sounds, you know what I mean? Alright, let's fold it up and we'll head over to the next area. Now, given how close we are to the edge of the border here, let's go ahead and save. Lord knows we don't want to be forgetting to save anymore after having all the crashes I had yesterday. And I don't know what caused it. I think that Farm Sim did something behind the scenes, because we weren't having any issues at all. And then yesterday, just out of nowhere, started crashing like crazy. So I think that Farm Sim was doing something behind the scenes. But, alright. I think this is going to be a good spot. I don't need to connect these two areas, but we'll go ahead and go along this way. Safe to say I found it. whole area over here. Like this area could even be like a cattle grazing area or something. You know what I mean? Not saying that's what we'll do with it. We've done cattle recently, but goats or sheep or something up here. Could be anything.
Just me, a cabin on a hill, grass up to my knees. Nobody around for miles, time to make my mark. Old tractor rumbling slow, 45 horses against the wind, brush hog chopping wild grass low. Let the taming begin. Dust in the air, sweat on my brow. I came here with nothing, but I'm building something now. I'm taming the wildlands, one pass at a time. Grass falling behind me, freedom on my mind. A man in the machine with a destiny to find. Taming the wildlands and leaving fear behind. No town in sight from the cabin door, just hills and trees forevermore. Oh, nobody watching, nobody knows how far this frontier life goes. But every cut I make, the valley shows a place to stand, a life that grows. I'm taming the wildlands, one pass at a time. Grass falling behind me, freedom on my mind. A man in a machine with a destiny to find. Taming the wildlands and leaving fear behind. Someday barns and fields will rise, and the world will change before my eyes. But it starts with a hillside, rough and free, taming these wildlands, just a tractor and me. Taming the wildlands, one pass at a time. Grass falling behind me, freedom on my mind. Cabin on a hill where the sun still shines. Taming the wildlands, this frontier is mine.
Alright, so that is the mowing done. That was a lot of mowing, I ain't gonna lie. These hills are brutal, man. Until you get on them and start pulling, you don't realize just how big these freaking hills are. I'm starting to think that maybe we can connect these. I wasn't going to, but there's no reason not to. literally only take a couple of seconds. Get as much off of this as we can. There we go. Again, kind of limited what we can get here, but I think that's all the mowing for today, man. That's a lot of mowing. Let's go ahead and save real quick, and then we'll zoom out and show you guys everything that we just mowed. Because I know just looking at it like this, it's kind of hard to kind of quantify exactly how much we mowed. So let's go ahead and go into the construction menu, and then you can really get a glimpse of it. So we just mowed this entire top section, and then these two big sections down here, obviously. And what made, like I said, what made this worse was look at these hills, man. These hills are nasty. But it feels like home, to be honest. Like I said, I grew up in areas just like this. This feels like it's my backyard growing up, to be honest. We had a lot of the farms in my area, unless you're on the bottom. Some of the areas in the bottom, they were, you know, they do corn and soybeans and stuff like that. But a lot of these areas that are up towards the top, they're grass fields. Where am I at? Need to figure out exactly. I know we were just in the construction menu. Yeah, that's what I thought. That area back there we were just at. I am going to go ahead and cut that now, just so that it's like down together. It shouldn't take us very long, but worst case scenario, I'll just drive to the top and then drive down. No big deal. But yeah, I do kind of want to cut this area, this little pathway that goes right down to the house. It's not perfect, but it does take us right down to our house. So if we can kind of tame it a little bit, that would be ideal. And again, this is brutally steep. So we kind of want to... Oh, that's a tree. That's a tree. Yep, and I bet that's a tree too. Let's go around that. Like I said, rather than trying to mow up this hill, we'll just drive to the top and then let the gravity help us get down. Our sickle's on the right side anyway, or our bars are on the right side, so we should be able to do that. But even without anything else running, this thing is struggling to get back up this hill. Like, I don't know, I don't think it's actually a lack of horsepower. I think it's mostly just this old transmission. It don't have enough gear ratios for this. We will go ahead and unfold. So when we get up here, we can just coast on down. Actually, I want to get a little bit closer here, so let's go ahead and turn that on. We'll go right along through here. That little section out there, a little bit of grass there, and we'll swing back in and we'll do the next one. Just trying to clean the area up a little bit, showcasing that there is something at the top of the hill, right? Like if we're going to make this area into something that's useful, we might as well clear it even if we're not going to mow this all the time, clearing all the brush and stuff out of the way is going to go a long ways towards making this field more used. Alright, so we went ahead and did that, knocked that out. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Again, not planning on mowing that often, just wanted to get rid of all the brush and stuff to make it look a little bit nicer. When that grass grows back in, it'll look a lot nicer than with all that brush and stuff was in there. But we'll go ahead and take the mower off. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and shut down for today. I think that's plenty. That is a lot of mowing done. Again, this area right here is going to look a lot better once the grass grows back in. We will pick up a little bit of bales off of this, but again, we're not planning on mowing this. This top section we may mow a little bit, but I'm not even guaranteeing that we're going to mow that again anytime soon. This area down here is going to be our primary field for the time being. Everything else has just been cleaning up the property to make it look halfway decent. And so far, I'm pretty happy with how everything has come out. So let me know if you guys are still enjoying. And I know it's a little bit of a slower burn series, but again, I want to try to take our time, pace everything, build up slowly over time, and really showcase a transformation on this map. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.